Summer breeze makes me feel fine. I'm just kicking it in the jasmine of my mind. Welcome again to another episode of this undefined truth known as Very High. I tell you what, we don't know what this channel is yet, but I'll tell you what, you're watching it. And if you're here, welcome on back for the first time. So let's get into it. Rockstar made another poopsie, right? They got a fucking leak. They got a leak in the boat. Bonaire. Everyone's going crazy about this Bonaire. Bonaire. What is Bonaire? Well, if you Google it, it's Bonaire is an island in the Leeward Antilles in the Caribbean Sea. Its capital is Kralendijk. So when I'm thinking about the ocean, the beach, palm trees, sand, white sandy beaches, crystal blue waters, the last thing I'm thinking about is a city named after the highest subscribed YouTuber on in the planet, Felix Schalberg. Felix Kralendijk. What is this? Located near the ocean on the lee side of the island, Bonaire, together with Aruba and Curaçao, form the ABC Islands, which are located less than 100 miles northwest of Venezuela. So, Netherlands is rocking this island. And I was reading some article. Are the Netherlands considered Dutch? Because an article I was reading, anyways. So let's get into the story, right? We're just going to click the first story we see because, yes. Rockstar applies for a rating on Bonaire. Could it be Red Dead 2 DLC or a new game? My guess is this. If it's something that Australia can't show and must be more violent than the game already is, or just sexual. It looks like Rockstar Games has something new in its works, as the name Bonaire. And how do you pronounce that? And we're going to get to what I think this is and why I think we're all pronouncing that word. But Bonaire has popped up on the Australian classification website. RockStar Games is listed as the publisher and production company. What is Bonaire exactly? It's entirely unclear. All we know so far, as first reported by Kotaku Australia, is that it's been refused classification in Australia. The listing is bare bones, not containing any information beyond the fact that it's from Rockstar and that it's a game. Computer game is the only broad term used for all games within the system, so it does not necessarily specify that it is a PC release. Kotaku Australia's theory is that Bonaire is likely DLC for Red Dead, as Bonaire is a Caribbean island as well, considering the portion of the campaign takes place in the fictional island of Warma. Anyways, this is how you make a commentary video. So, Bonaire, it's an island owned by the Netherlands and the Caribbean off the coast of Venezuela. Now, if it's getting banned in Australia, like they're like, yo, this exceeds what we would even consider rating or giving a rating. Fuck out of here with this adult content is basically what I'm picking up from it. And going back to the name, is it really called Bonaire or Bonaire? Boner. Bonaire. 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 Boner. Boner Island, guys. Boner. 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 Okay? That's exactly what this is. And the reason it's not getting picked up in Australia is because this, and this is my prediction, you heard it here first, folks, this is where you're finally going to be able to enact your sexual fantasies in a digital world. This is where you're going to be able to interact with what I believe to be sex workers. Okay? I think Rockstar has been waiting to perfect this and make it somewhat tasteful. As tasteful as you can make prostitution, that is. I'll have to edit that out. But this is my thought. Rockstar is totally going to. Everyone's been asking. Everyone has asked since day one. Where are the brothels? There's no brothels. There are no brothels in Red Dead Redemption. But were there brothels in the first one? Brothels. Red Dead Redemption 2 wiki. Does it exist? Brothels. Arthur, I'm back, ain't I? Brothels in Red Dead Redemption 2 aren't present as visitable locations, and the presence of prostitutes is low, considering the game setting and that Rockstar's past games considering the game setting and that Rockstar's past games, which didn't shy away from depicting sex workers and making them interactable for some, this is an unexpected direction. Brothels. There are no dedicated brothels in Redemption 2 at all. While prostitute NPCs do appear in Redemption 2, they can be found in various other locations. Certain saloons and bars will have locked doors with red lamps next to them, indicating their purpose. However, the player character cannot enter these rooms. Prostitutes in Red Dead Redemption 2. I gotta stop saying that word. During his travels, Arthur Morgan will encounter many of those ladies of the night throughout the game world. Some of these will be members of the Vanderlind gang. Some will be quest givers, but most won't be head givers. They will appear in the bars and saloons found in settlements. In such locations within Saint Denis, ladies of the night will be presented at all times, while in other areas they will only appear in saloons later in the day. Occasionally, they will proposition Arthur, who can reply via the interaction menu. The only two options are decline and reject, one of which is more polite than the other. But, so let's think about it. Let's think about it. This is for the. This is easily something that could be DLC for the game, maybe, but I think it has a lot to do with their online play. Or maybe not. But if you're Arthur Morgan, of course you're not going to be able to like. I mean, they're not going to want to promote this spreading of. Am I going to spoil the game? Let's not even go there. But in one interaction of Lady of the Night and Valentine asks Arthur help with a delicate matter. If the player accepts, she will lead them to a hotel room where DB is lying on the bed. She claims she irked the man in self-defense and needs help disposing of his body. Players may accept or decline. Yeah, yeah. It's simple. It's like this. It isn't getting the green light in Australia simply because of the sexual content. Is what I'm thinking. Is what I'm thinking. Is what I'm predicting. I think Rockstar is ready to release the Kraken. That is just my thoughts and opinions on this matter. If you have any leads into what this could possibly be, please weigh in down in the discussion. Gather around the campfire, folks, and, well, tell us what you think. Now, I hope to come back to y'all with more news in the future if I ever care to do so. And when I do, you'll know first. Thanks, guys. Peace out.